God says, if you're reading this, it means I have chosen you. But this opportunity won't wait. My beloved child, there is a reason your eyes landed on this message in this exact second of your life. Heaven is not random, and Archangel Michael does not whisper without purpose. There is something stirring around you, something shifting in the unseen space of your home, your mind, your path. And today's title is not a phrase, it is a divine selection. God says, if you're reading this, it means I have chosen you. But this opportunity won't wait. Listen closely, because what I'm about to speak is not soft, not subtle, and not accidental. It is a message that clings to your spirit like a warning echo from the throne of God. Archangel Michael stands beside you right now. Yes, right where you are, because a window has opened that won't stay open for long. This moment is not a coincidence. It is a clock. You have been sensing something for days, maybe weeks. Pressure in your chest, a heaviness in your thoughts, a strange awareness that something is shifting around you, even if you can't explain it. You feel watched, not by danger, but by destiny. You feel pulled, not by fear, but by purpose. That is because heaven has been trying to get your attention, and today, finally, you paused long enough to listen. Archangel Michael is revealing that you are stepping into a divine selection moment. Not everyone receives this. Not everyone is smart. Not everyone is called forward in the exact moment the spiritual gate opens. But you, yes, you, have been chosen to hear this because God saw something rising in you that even you haven't fully understood. There is a spiritual opportunity forming in front of you, a life-altering opening, a heavenly invitation that will not remain for long. And Michael says this clearly: what is coming next requires your awareness. If you move with faith, you will enter what was always meant to be yours. But if you hesitate, if you doubt, if you step back, the moment will pass. This is not to scare you. It is to sharpen you. You have been walking through a season where it felt like nothing was moving, nothing was breaking, nothing was changing. Doors stayed shut. People misunderstood your spirit. Opportunities slipped away from you as if something was blocking them. But that was not punishment. That was preparation. Heaven was withholding certain things, because the wrong moment would have destroyed what the right moment will bless. And now the right moment is here. Michael stands in front of you as a warrior of timing. Yes, timing. He shows me an hourglass, the sand falling fast, but the bottom half glowing gold. This means the moment is short, but the outcome is overflowing. You are standing at the edge of something God has been building quietly behind the scenes. Something you didn't see coming. Something that will rewrite your emotional, spiritual, and even financial landscape. And here is the part your soul must hear. This opportunity is not waiting. It is moving. And you must move with it. But before you step forward, there is a revelation. Michael needs you to hear a revelation about why you were chosen. Not because of your perfection. Not because of your strength. But because of your endurance. Your heart kept beating in faith even when your world was collapsing in slow motion. Heaven saw every moment you kept going. Every tear you hid. Every silent prayer you whispered when you thought no one was listening. And God had said, this one is ready. This one is mine. That is why this message found you. That is why your spirit feels alert right now. That is why your heart is reacting even if your mind is still trying to understand. Because something is coming toward you. Something meant only for the chosen. And in the next moments of this divine message, the deeper meaning of this opportunity and what Michael is revealing about it will be uncovered. You don't want to miss that. Before you move, breathe. Let your spirit settle. Let the presence of Archangel Michael surround you where you are. Something big is about to be revealed in the next revelation. Something that will connect every strange feeling you've had lately. So hold your place, don't drift. Don't scroll. Don't disconnect. You will understand why in a moment. Type "I walk into my calling" in the comments if this is stirring your spirit. Blessing code 144 is now active over your journey. Hold on now, the next revelation will shift your understanding of why God chose you. Beloved soul of destiny, there is a stirring in the atmosphere around you. A gentle but firm pull that your spirit has already begun to feel. The moment you continued into this message, the veil around the next revelation began to thin, and Archangel Michael stepped even closer, positioning himself like a guardian before a door that is about to open. You may not see him with your eyes, but your heart can sense the shift. The air around your life has changed. Something is alive, active, awake, and it is connected to the divine opportunity God warned you about. The fact that you remained here, still listening, still leaning in, proves that your spirit recognizes truth even before your mind can articulate it. This next part is more intense, because Michael is not simply speaking about what is coming. He is exposing what has been blocking you. There is something that has followed you silently for months, a weight that refused to break, a cycle that refused to end, a pattern that returned again and again no matter how hard you tried to rise above it. But heaven is revealing that this pattern was not a sign of your weakness. It was the enemy's attempt to distract you before your divine window opened. The kingdom of darkness always senses when breakthrough is near. It always tries to send confusion right before clarity arrives. It always tries to create spiritual noise right before God speaks directly to you. And now God is speaking. Michael is revealing that your life has been in a spiritual standstill. Not because you lacked desire, not because you lacked effort, but because the divine timing had not yet aligned. You were pushing on a door that was never meant to open until heaven whispered the command. But now the whisper has changed into a decree. Now the delay has shifted into release. That is why things around you recently felt uncomfortable, strangely unsettled, or spiritually loud. When heaven prepares to move you forward, everything out of alignment gets exposed. People start acting strangely. Opportunities begin to shake. Hidden motives rise. Truth comes to the surface. And you begin sensing disruptions in places you once felt secure. You started noticing the faces of people around you changing. Not physically, but spiritually. Those who were once supportive became distant. Those who once understood you began misunderstanding your every word. Those you trusted suddenly revealed inconsistencies. And even inside your own spirit, you felt a longing to detach from certain environments, conversations, and lifestyles that no longer matched the person you are becoming. This was not random. This was heaven separating you from anything that could sabotage the opportunity God has positioned in front of you. Michael says that your name has been carried into the courts of heaven. Yes, carried. Lifted. Spoken. Identify. Marked. There is a divine spotlight on you right now, not for exposure, but for elevation. You are not one among many in this moment. You are chosen among few. And the moment you started watching, something aligned in the spiritual realm. This is why you feel a pull in your chest, a quiet anticipation, a subtle trembling inside your soul. Destiny always vibrates before it fully arrives. And now Michael is revealing something deeper, something many ignore but you cannot afford to miss. Before a divine opportunity appears in the physical world, it is first fought for in the spiritual world. Your blessings, your promotions, your sudden changes, your open doors do not simply appear. They are delivered. They are fought for. They are protected. And you have been in a spiritual battle without even knowing it. Your dreams were attacked because of what you are meant to build. Your emotions were targeted because of the strength you are stepping into. Your relationships were shaken because the enemy wanted to isolate you before God could elevate you. But here is the part that will ignite your spirit. The battle is shifting. The resistance is crumbling. The tide is turning in your favor. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword on your behalf, clearing the path in front of you, breaking the invisible chains around your progress, silencing the voices that spoke against your purpose. He is not fighting to protect your past. He is fighting to secure your future. God is positioning you, preparing you, and pushing you forward because the opportunity coming toward you is tied to your purpose, your identity, and your calling. This is why this message is time-sensitive. The title declared it. God says, if you're reading this, it means I have chosen you. But this opportunity won't wait. Heaven is confirming that there is a divine opening approaching you at a rapid pace. It is connected to restoration, clarity, relationships, finances, and spiritual placement. It is not small. It is not random. And it is not something you can postpone. When heaven opens a gate, it expects movement. When Michael clears a path, he expects obedience. When God selects a moment, it must be seized. Your spirit knows this, even if you cannot explain it. That is why you are still here. That is why your heart is leaning forward. That is why every part of you feels like something important is unfolding. You can feel destiny stretching its hand toward you. You can feel heaven nudging you into alignment. You can feel God preparing you for something bigger than what you have lived through. What comes next will reveal why you were chosen. But before that revelation unfolds, hold your ground. What is coming next carries weight. It carries truth. It carries instruction. And it carries freedom. Before you move on, seal this moment. Type "I step into my divine timing" in the comments if this message is resonating with your spirit. Blessing code 339 is now released over your journey. Hold steady now. The next revelation will show you what this opportunity actually is. Chosen vessel of light, there is a reason your spirit is still here, leaning deeper, reaching further, refusing to disconnect from this divine unfolding. The presence of Archangel Michael has intensified around you, not as a distant guardian, but as a warrior standing at the threshold of a moment that heaven has been preparing for you long before you ever realized you were being prepared. This is not simply a continuation of a message. This is a crossing point, a shift, a spiritual turn where everything you have endured finally begins to make sense. Michael is showing me an image of you standing in a corridor. On one side, the shadows of your past, on the other side, the golden glow of your calling. And right now, in this very moment, God's voice echoes through that corridor. If you're reading this, it means I have chosen you. But this opportunity will not wait. This is not poetic language. It is a heavenly decree. Your name is tied to a divine assignment that must be activated while the gate remains open. You have been wondering why life has felt so unusual lately. Why your dreams have become more vivid. Why your intuition has become sharper. Why your peace has been disturbed without obvious cause. Michael reveals that these were signs of transition, signals that your spirit was entering a higher realm of awareness. You are not imagining the shift. You are not exaggerating the feeling. Something truly spiritual has been happening around you. The atmosphere of your life has been recalibrating itself to match the level of divine opportunity approaching you. There were moments recently when you felt detached from things that once mattered deeply to you. People you cared for began feeling distant. Environments that once felt comfortable became strangely suffocating. Conversations that used to bring you joy now felt empty. This was not emotional instability. It was heaven detoxing your spirit, making space for what was coming. God was clearing distractions. Michael was removing spiritual noise. Your soul was releasing old energies so it could receive higher instructions. And now that the room within you is clear, the revelation can be released. Michael says that the opportunity coming your way is not merely a blessing, it is a divine summons. Something you were born to do is rising in front of you. Something tied to your purpose, your identity, and the destiny your soul signed for long before you ever came into this world. The reason this message found you now, and not earlier or later, is because your spirit has finally reached the level of maturity where you can walk into this calling without sabotaging it, doubting it, or running away from it. But here is the part few people ever understand. The chosen are not chosen because they are perfect. They are chosen because they survived what should have destroyed them. You have walked through fire without losing your soul. You have cried silent tears no one ever acknowledged. You have rebuilt yourself after storms that were invisible to others. You have been faithful in seasons where everything inside you was breaking. And heaven saw it. God watched you. Michael defended you. Your spirit endured. That is why this opportunity belongs to you. Michael reveals that this opening is connected to realignment in 3 major areas of your life: your emotional stability, your spiritual authority, and your future direction. Something you have been confused about will suddenly make sense. A door that refused to crack open will swing without resistance. A path that was once hidden will appear with clarity so strong that you will wonder how you ever missed it. This is what divine timing looks like. What once rejected you now welcomes you. What once confused you now confirms you. What once felt delayed now arrives with divine force. But Michael also warns that the window is temporary. When heaven opens a gate, it does not remain open forever. God's instruction carries urgency because the alignment happening right now is fragile. It is sacred. It is intentional. If you overthink it, the moment closes. If you hesitate, the energy fades. If you ignore the nudge, the opportunity shifts to someone else who is prepared to respond. This is why heaven pushed you here. This is why your spirit wouldn't let you scroll away. This is why something deep inside you refuses to disconnect. Because what's coming next needs your full attention. Michael says the next revelation will show you how to step into this opportunity, what posture to hold, what to avoid, what to embrace, and how to prepare so nothing around you can steal what heaven is about to deliver. You are on the edge of understanding your divine assignment, and once that understanding arrives, you will never look at your life the same way again. Before you go forward, anchor this moment. Do not let the spiritual alignment slip from your hands. If your spirit feels stirred, awakened, or strangely seen, that is the sign that heaven is speaking directly to you. If this word is touching your spirit, type "I receive my divine assignment" in the comments. Blessing code 808 is now activated over your steps. And before you move forward, take a breath. Because what Michael reveals next will not only explain your calling, it will expose the enemy that tried to stop it. Now, take a moment to like this message, share it, comment your affirmation, and subscribe so that this prophetic light reaches more souls who need their divine alignment. Your engagement helps push God's word into the lives of thousands. What you are hearing in this message is not just a video. It is a calling, a mantle, a reminder that heaven still speaks to the chosen. And if God is using this channel to reach you, imagine how many more souls are waiting to be awakened through the same light. I feel the Spirit saying this plainly: when you sow into a prophetic work, you become part of the harvest of every life it touches. Like rivers that never run dry, your support becomes oil that keeps the flame burning on this altar. I hear this in my spirit. I am inviting you to take part in what I am building. If this message is ministering to you, stand with us by using Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. As you give, I declare open heavens, multiplied favor, and divine acceleration over your life. Step into this moment of obedience and unlock the blessing assigned to the givers. Radiant soul of purpose, as you step into this next unfolding, feel the shift that has begun trembling through your atmosphere. Something deep, ancient, and holy is stirring around you, and Archangel Michael is now standing not behind you, not beside you, but directly in front of you, like a fierce guardian blocking the forces that once tried to reroute your destiny. His presence in this moment is not symbolic, it is strategic. He is preparing you for the revelation that will explain why your life has carried a weight that few around you ever understood. This is where the message begins to lift the veil. Michael is showing me a scene around your life, one that stretches across years, not moments. There were seasons where you felt overlooked, misunderstood, or underestimated. You were present, but somehow invisible. You were trying, but somehow stuck. You were reaching, but somehow blocked. At the time, it felt like failure. It felt like rejection. It felt like life was closing doors in your face while opening them easily for others. But heaven says those were not closed doors, they were protected doors. If some of those early opportunities had opened, they would have pulled you into rooms where your spirit would have been drained, exploited, or manipulated. God was not withholding blessings. He was shielding your assignment. This is why the enemy fought so aggressively to confuse your identity. Because if you ever discovered who you truly are, if you ever recognized the weight you carry in the spiritual realm, if you ever awakened to the fact that you are chosen, his plans would crumble instantly. And now, the awakening is happening. Your spirit is rising into clarity. Your inner vision is sharpening. You are beginning to understand that the battles of your past were proof of the calling on your life, not punishment for your mistakes. Michael says this plainly: you have always been marked. Even when you were far from God, heaven was close to you. Even when you doubted everything about yourself, heaven did not doubt the anointing resting on you. Even when you felt unworthy, heaven saw purpose. Even when you broke, heaven kept you from shattering. You are not chosen today. You were chosen from the beginning. Only now are you strong enough to step into what has always belonged to you. But here's the deeper revelation. The opportunity coming toward you is not random. It is the culmination of years of spiritual preparation. Heaven has been aligning people, resources, timing, and inner readiness for this exact moment. And God's words echo again. If you're reading this, it means I have chosen you. But the opportunity will not wait. That urgency is not meant to pressure you. It is meant to awaken you. Destiny does not wait for the hesitant. It accelerates for the ready. And spiritually, you are ready. Michael reveals that the next phase of your life will require a different version of you. Not the wounded version. Not the fearful version. Not the apologetic version. But the anointed version. The version heaven sees. You are stepping into a season where your voice will matter. Your presence will carry weight. Your decisions will influence the lives of others, and your purpose will demand action. This is why you have felt a strange discomfort lately, even in places that once felt safe. That discomfort was heaven pushing you out of old cycles so you could rise into new authority. You've been noticing subtle changes. Your intuition is louder, your discernment sharper, your emotional responses different. Things that once irritated you now feel beneath you. People who once drained you no longer have access to your inner world. Situations that once confused you are now clear. This is not personality change. It is spiritual elevation. You are shedding what no longer belongs to your timeline. Michael is now revealing another layer, one many people never recognize. When heaven prepares a chosen one for a divine opportunity, there is always a final test, the test of alignment. This test does not come as tragedy or chaos. It often comes as a choice between who you were and who you are becoming, between comfort and courage, between delay and destiny. You are on the edge of this choice now. The energy around your life is shifting quickly, and Michael says that the next days will bring signs, connections, or insights that will confirm your next step. But the window is temporary. It will not stay open forever. And this is why you were brought to this message at this exact moment. Heaven wants your spirit awake. Heaven wants your heart ready. Heaven wants your steps aligned. God has selected a moment of transition for you, and Michael is preparing the way so that nothing can intercept what is meant to reach you. But before you step forward, you must understand something vital. The opportunity coming your way requires a spiritually alert posture. You cannot walk into this with hesitation, insecurity, or fear of the unknown. You must move with the confidence of someone chosen by heaven. You must walk like someone who carries divine backing. You must stand like someone who knows angels fight for them. Because they do. And Michael is leading them. You may feel a strange mix of peace and anticipation right now. That is confirmation. The chosen always feel a pull before a breakthrough. It is the spiritual world aligning with the physical world. Heaven is whispering to your inner being, prepare yourself. What is coming is yours. And now, as this part closes, the next revelation will finally begin to unveil the nature of the opportunity itself, what it is, why it's coming now, and what you must do to receive it. Type "I align with heaven's timing" in the comments if this message is resonating with your spirit. Blessing code 552 is now flowing over your life. Hold steady, for the next unveiling carries the blueprint of your breakthrough. The loved one standing on the edge of revelation as you move deeper into this unfolding. The spiritual atmosphere around you continues to thicken with intention. Archangel Michael is no longer simply guarding the doorway. He is guiding you through it. His presence in this moment is strong, steady, unmovable, carrying the weight of a messenger who has waited a long time to deliver what he is about to reveal. You may feel a subtle warmth, a rise in your chest, or a sudden calm dropping over your soul. That is not imagination. That is alignment. Heaven is drawing you into the heart of why God chose you, and why he said this opportunity will not wait. Michael begins by showing me a scene from your past, not a specific moment, but a pattern. You have always been the one who carried more than you were given. You have always been the one who noticed what others ignored. You have always been the one who felt things deeply. Sensed changes early, discerned danger before anyone else. This sensitivity was not a flaw, it was spiritual training. Heaven was shaping you long before you recognized you were being shaped. And now, for the first time, the pieces are coming together. The reason you were chosen is because you have endured battles meant to take years from others. You have survived emotional storms that would have shattered someone with a weaker spirit. You have walked through seasons of isolation that would have drained a heart with less resilience. Your endurance was not accidental. Heaven was testing the strength of your foundation, preparing you to carry what is about to be placed in your hands. And this is where Michael begins unveiling the deeper truth. The opportunity coming toward you is connected to restoration, repositioning, and spiritual authority. This divine moment is not simply about blessing. It is about placement. God is moving you into a higher level of purpose, and this next opportunity is the doorway to that elevation. You will soon find yourself in environments, conversations, and spiritual territory that activate the version of you heaven has been shaping in the shadows. But here is the truth that may surprise you. The opportunity is not completely external. It is not just a job, a relationship, a breakthrough, or a sudden shift. Part of the opportunity is internal, a divine awakening that will change the way you see yourself. The greatest shift you will experience is spiritual, not material. When you finally recognize that heaven has chosen you, not because of your perfection, but because of your assignment, everything in your life begins to operate differently. Your mindset evolves. Your decisions shift. Your confidence rises. Your energy becomes magnetic. Your presence begins to carry weight. Michael says that the enemy's greatest fear is you discovering who you actually are. This is why your life has been filled with moments of deep self-doubt, moments where you questioned your worth, your path, your identity, and your capacity. But the enemy underestimated the resilience inside you. Every time you fell, you stood again. Every time you broke, you rebuilt. Every time you were betrayed, you learned. Every time you were delayed, you grew. And all of this has brought you here, to this sacred unveiling. Now the Archangel begins revealing something even more significant. You have entered a divine acceleration zone. This means things that once took months will happen in days. Opportunities that once felt distant will suddenly come into alignment. Conversations that once felt impossible will now open naturally. Connections that once seemed unlikely will become divinely orchestrated. Heaven is rearranging things around you with precision. And the reason God emphasized that the opportunity will not wait is because acceleration requires readiness. You cannot step into a season of rapid movement while holding on to old doubts, old habits, old environments, or old emotional patterns. What heaven is releasing requires a renewed version of you. A version willing to act when God speaks, willing to move when Michael directs, willing to trust when the path is unclear. Michael also reveals that part of the opportunity involves restoration of what was lost. There are things that slipped from your hands, relationships, confidence, direction, momentum, even finances. And heaven says, these things were not taken from you. They were postponed for their rightful time. That time is now aligning. What was removed will return in upgraded form. What was broken will be rebuilt with divine strength. What was taken will be restored with spiritual interests. But with this acceleration also comes clarity. Michael says you will soon see the truth about certain people, situations, and decisions that once blinded you. He is removing the fog from your path, revealing the real intentions of those around you, exposing energies that cannot follow you forward, and guiding you away from traps disguised as opportunities. This clarity will be sharp, and it will be undeniable. Heaven is positioning you. And this positioning is not subtle. It is direct, deliberate, and divine. You may have felt in recent days that something big was approaching, something you could not explain. That sense was not random. It was prophetic. Your spirit was detecting the shift before your mind understood it. Michael says that the inner tug you have been feeling is heaven's way of calling you into your assignment. And here is where it becomes even more powerful. You will not walk into this opportunity alone. The guidance of Archangel Michael is covering you. The protection of heaven surrounds you. The light of God goes before you. You are being escorted into your destiny. As you prepare for the next unveiling, hold your spirit open. What is coming next carries instruction, alignment, and clarity about the specific nature of your next step. The message is deepening, and the next revelation will show you exactly why the timing of this opportunity is so urgent. If this is speaking to your soul, type "I move with heaven" in the comments. Blessing code 611 is now released over your journey. Stay connected, for the next unveiling will shift the way you see your future. Chosen soul, walking through heavens unfolding as you step into this next revelation. Feel the gravity of the moment settling deeper into your spirit. Archangel Michael stands beside you with a calm but undeniable authority, as if what he is about to reveal requires your full attention, your full awareness, and your full spiritual readiness. The atmosphere around you is not the same as when you began this journey. Something has shifted. Something has awakened. Something has aligned. And heaven is now ready to show you the part of the message that connects everything you have been feeling, facing, and fighting. Michael begins with a truth that may pierce your heart gently, yet powerfully. You have been walking through a season that was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. Every disappointment, every delay, every unexpected ending, every moment of confusion was part of a spiritual trimming. Heaven has been removing what could not walk with you into your next assignment. The pruning felt painful, but it was necessary. You were being shaped for something greater than your comfort, something bigger than your fears, something more sacred than your temporary struggles. And now heaven reveals the truth, the opportunity God spoke of. This opportunity that will not wait is connected to your elevation into a higher realm of spiritual purpose. You are being called into a new season where your presence will matter more, your voice will carry more weight, and your steps will influence more than you realize. This next phase of your life will not be quiet. It will be transformative. Michael shows me an image of you standing before a gate made of light. Not physical light, but spiritual illumination. This gate represents clarity, revelation, direction, and divine timing. You have reached this gate before, but in those seasons you were not ready. You were still carrying people who could not go with you. You were still tied to fears that dimmed your spirit. You were still healing wounds that needed time to close. But now, heaven says the timing is ripe. The gate is open. The moment is aligned. And God is saying again, if you're reading this, it means I have chosen you. But this opportunity will not wait. You are not simply receiving a message. You are responding to a call. You are not simply listening. You are crossing a threshold. You are not simply hearing. You are awakening. Michael reveals that this next opportunity is deeply connected to your identity. You are stepping into a season where the world will begin to see the real you, the version heaven sees, the version that carries authority, the version that has spiritual weight. You have been living beneath your calling because life taught you to shrink, to soften, to silence yourself in order to avoid conflict or rejection. But heaven is breaking that off of you. A chosen vessel cannot hide. A chosen vessel cannot dim. A chosen vessel cannot shrink. The world needs the brilliance God placed inside you. This is why you have been sensing a strange internal pressure lately. Not anxiety, but anticipation. Not fear, but awareness. Not chaos, but spiritual momentum. Your soul knows what your mind has not yet fully grasped. You are moving into your divine season. Your steps are aligning. Your path is clearing. Your spirit is rising. Michael says that there is something heaven is preparing to place in your hands. Something that requires courage, clarity, and readiness. It may be a decision. It may be a responsibility. It may be a divine connection. It may be a new direction. It may be a calling you have been ignoring for years because you felt unworthy or unprepared. But heaven says the time for hesitation is over. The time for uncertainty is ending. The time for destiny is here. And now comes the deeper revelation. The urgency in this message is not because something bad is coming. It is because something sacred is approaching. The window you are entering is short because this alignment is rare. Heaven does not always open these kinds of gates. When it does, the chosen must walk quickly and boldly. You may feel a mix of calm and intensity right now. That is the spiritual confirmation that your spirit recognizes what your mind is trying to comprehend. You are not stepping into something ordinary. You are stepping into something divinely orchestrated. Michael now turns your attention to the people around you. He reveals that in this new season, heaven will begin shifting your relationships. Allies will appear. Hidden intentions will surface. Those who could not see your worth will no longer have access to your energy. New connections, divinely appointed and spiritually aligned, will step into your path. These individuals will not drain you, confuse you, or distract you. They will elevate you, understand you, and support the calling on your life. Heaven is also revealing that you will receive internal clarity you have been longing for. Decisions that once felt overwhelming will suddenly feel simple. Desires you buried will rise again with strength. The calling you tried to ignore will begin speaking loudly inside your spirit. Your hesitation will dissolve, and your faith will sharpen. This is the awakening of the chosen. Michael says the next revelation will begin to show you the early signs that this opportunity is approaching, signs that will confirm everything your spirit has been sensing. You will not miss it. Heaven will not let you miss it. But your awareness in this moment matters. Your alignment matters. Your willingness matters. This is your moment of readiness. If your spirit is resonating with this, type "I am ready for my destiny" in the comments. Blessing code 448 is now flowing into your atmosphere. Stay close, for what comes next reveals the signs heaven will send before this opportunity arrives. Ye loved one, standing in the glow of divine alignment as you cross into this next revelation, feel the shift happening inside your chest. Your breathing may feel deeper, your awareness sharper, your spirit more awake than before. This is not emotional coincidence. This is spiritual synchronization. Archangel Michael is now revealing truths that were hidden behind the veil, truths that you were not ready to see until now. Truths that connect the urgency of this divine opportunity with the signs heaven has already begun placing around you. What comes next is not just insight, it is preparation. Preparation for what God is sending. Preparation for what your spirit has sensed approaching. Preparation for the moment that will confirm you were chosen for this very season. Michael begins by showing an image of light descending slowly over your path, illuminating places that once felt confusing. This is the first sign, clarity. You will begin noticing that your thoughts are becoming more focused. Ideas that once felt scattered will suddenly align. The direction you have been praying for will begin forming inside you like a quiet knowing. Heaven is giving you internal clarity before external change arrives. You may find yourself waking up with answers you did not have the night before. You may feel sudden inspiration out of nowhere. You may hear a sentence drop into your spirit that feels like guidance. This is the voice of God preparing you. Then Michael reveals the second sign, separation. Certain people will drift away. Conversations that once mattered will feel empty. Circles you once fit into will no longer feel aligned with your spirit. This separation is not rejection. It is divine protection. Heaven is removing the people who cannot go with you into your next stage. You may feel lonely for a moment, but that loneliness is the space heaven creates before new connections arrive. Your spirit may even feel relieved by the distance, even if your mind does not fully understand why. That relief is confirmation. The third sign Michael reveals is restlessness. But this is not the anxiety of past seasons. This is an inner stirring, a feeling that something in your life is shifting, but you cannot quite explain it. You may feel drawn to change something small or something major. You may feel a sudden desire to clean your space, reorganize, make room, or prepare yourself in unusual ways. This restlessness is heaven telling your spirit, get ready. Something is coming. Then comes the fourth sign, repeated numbers, dreams, or symbols. Heaven communicates through patterns when the chosen are stepping into destiny. You may see certain numbers like 111, 222, 444, or 555. You may dream of doors, flights, water, or movement. You may begin seeing symbols of transition, bridges, gates, keys, pathways. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Michael says your spiritual senses are heightening so that when the opportunity appears, you recognize it instantly. The fifth sign is unexpected favor. Someone may help you without you asking. A door that was stuck may suddenly open. Money may come from an unexpected source. A stranger may speak a word that touches your heart in ways they could not possibly understand. Favor is a sign that heaven has gone ahead of you. It means Michael is preparing the path. But perhaps the most powerful sign is the sixth one, increased sensitivity to the presence of God. There will be moments when you feel a sudden peace wash over you. Moments where your eyes fill with tears for reasons you cannot explain. Moments where you feel protected, guided, or watched over. Moments where you feel a whisper inside you saying, "You are not alone." These are not emotional moments. They are spiritual confirmations. Heaven is wrapping around you as you step into your assignment. And now Michael shifts the focus. He reveals that the opportunity approaching you is not just a blessing. It is a shift in your life's direction. A pivot. A divine redirection. A repositioning that moves you toward your purpose. And this is why the timing is so urgent. Heaven has aligned your spirit, your path, your internal awareness, and your environment all at once. When this alignment happens, you cannot delay. You cannot hesitate. You cannot shrink. You must move with heaven. Michael says you will know this opportunity when it arrives because it will carry three qualities: peace, alignment, and acceleration. Peace because it will not bring chaos or confusion. Alignment because it will fit the version of you heaven is awakening. Acceleration because once you say yes, momentum will begin immediately. Things will start moving quickly. Conversations will unfold naturally. And confirmation will follow every step you take. You may feel unqualified. You may wonder if you are truly ready. But heaven says you are not stepping into this because of your qualifications. You are stepping into it because of your calling. God does not choose the perfect. He chooses the prepared. And you have been prepared by every trial, every tear, every disappointment, every quiet night where you rebuilt yourself in silence. You have been shaped by the fire, strengthened by the storms, and refined by the seasons that tried to break you. This is why you are chosen. And this is why this moment cannot wait. As this part of the message comes to a close, Michael reveals that the next revelation will show you how to position yourself so that when this opportunity arrives, nothing, no fear, no distraction, no doubt, can steal it from you. What is coming next will prepare you to step into destiny without hesitation. If this message is stirring something deep in your spirit, type "I see the signs" in the comments. Blessing code 933 is now flowing into your path. Hold steady, for the next unfolding will show you how to receive what heaven is sending. Beloved soul, standing in the doorway of divine transformation as you enter this next revelation, feel the shift settling deeper into the atmosphere around you. Archangel Michael stands with heightened vigilance, as though the message he is guiding you into now carries not only insight, but instruction, holy instruction that prepares your spirit to receive the opportunity heaven has positioned in your path. There is a sacred intensity around you, a quiet yet undeniable weight that fills your inner being with awareness. This is not imagination. This is the nearness of destiny. This is the moment where heaven begins shaping your posture for what is coming. Michael begins by showing an image of your spirit standing on a platform of light, as though you are being lifted into a new realm of readiness. Heaven is not simply sending you an opportunity, it is preparing you to hold it. Because blessing without preparation becomes a burden. But blessing with preparation becomes purpose. And now, you are being prepared. The first posture heaven calls you into is spiritual steadiness. In the past, you were often shaken by external circumstances. One negative comment could affect your heart. One disappointment could discourage your spirit. One delay could drain your faith. But now, Michael says your foundation must be firm. You are rising into a season where you can no longer be tossed by every emotional wave. Heaven needs you anchored, steadfast, composed, spiritually aware. Because where you are going requires internal strength. Not loud strength. Quiet strength. The kind that carries authority without needing noise. The second posture Michael reveals is obedience. Heaven is calling you into a sensitivity that responds quickly when God nudges you. You cannot step into this opportunity with delay in your spirit. If God tells you to release something, release it. If He tells you to walk away from someone, walk away. If He impresses a decision on your heart, do not ignore it. The chosen are not chosen because they are flawless. They are chosen because they respond. They move when heaven speaks. They trust even when they don't fully understand the path ahead. The third posture is openness. You must open your heart to receive what heaven is sending. Some blessings will come wrapped in unfamiliar forms. Some opportunities will look different from what you imagine. Some connections will appear unexpectedly. Michael says if you remain closed inside the patterns of your past, you might overlook the very door heaven is trying to open for you. Open your heart. Open your mind. Open your spirit. The posture of openness allows heaven to surprise you. The fourth posture is release. There are things, old wounds, old memories, old fears, that cannot go with you into this next season. Heaven is asking you to let go of the heaviness you have been carrying for far too long. Release the fear of failing again. Release the fear of trusting again. Release the fear of stepping into something new. You cannot grip your past while reaching for your future. Michael says the act of release clears room for divine arrival. Then comes the fifth posture, stillness. Not stillness as inactivity, but stillness as spiritual alignment. Heaven needs your inner world quiet enough to hear the whisper of direction. When your soul is calm, you can recognize opportunity without confusion. You can catch divine timing without panic. You can sense where God is leading you without second-guessing yourself. Heaven is calling you into a calm spirit so clarity can flow. The sixth posture is discernment. Not every door is divine. Not every invitation is heaven-sent. Not every person has the capacity to handle your calling. Michael says you must learn to discern energy, intention, spiritual alignment. Heaven will guide you, But your inner discernment must be sharp enough to recognize what is for you and what is a distraction designed to delay you. Discernment protects destiny. And finally, the seventh posture, readiness. Heaven can open the gate, but only you can walk through it. When the opportunity appears, you must meet it with boldness. Do not shrink. Do not question your worth. Do not say, maybe later. There is no later in divine timing. There is only obedience now. God is not asking if you feel ready. He is declaring that He has made you ready. As Michael releases these postures into your spirit, the atmosphere around you intensifies. Heaven is drawing you toward the moment where opportunity, preparation, and alignment collide. This is why this message came to you. Heaven intends to position you properly. And as you stand in this revelation, know this deeply. You are not walking into the unknown alone. Michael walks ahead. God walks within. Heaven surrounds. Your path is protected. Your steps are guided. Your destiny is secure. Before moving into the next unfolding, anchor this moment with the blessing ritual. Type "I prepare my spirit" in the comments if this is aligning with your soul. Blessing code 1177 is now released over your posture and your path. Now, take a moment to like this message. Comment your affirmation. Share this prophetic word with someone who needs awakening, and subscribe so you never miss the divine instructions prepared for you. When you engage, you help spread heaven's light to those who are silently searching. As this message is touching your spirit, let your heart hear this clearly. When you support this prophetic work, you are not fueling a channel. You are fueling a calling. You are helping heaven reach souls who feel forgotten, lost, or unseen. Every seed you sow becomes spiritual light that travels into homes, hearts, and destinies. I feel the Spirit saying, what you support in faith, I will multiply in your life. Let your giving become an act of obedience, a prophetic response to the word stirring inside you. Stand with this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. As you sow, may the God of open heavens release favor, protection, and acceleration over your journey. Move boldly. Your seed carries divine impact. The of soul standing in the rising current of destiny as you move into this next unveiling. Feel the gravity of heaven drawing you deeper. Archangel Michael stands with a sharpened focus, as if what is about to be revealed must reach you without distortion, hesitation, or doubt. The atmosphere around you is thick with intention. Your spirit is alert, your heart is softened, and your inner being is beginning to understand why God said, if you're reading this, it means I have chosen you. But this opportunity will not wait. What comes next will show you the spiritual mechanics behind this urgency, why heaven is accelerating things around you, and what is unfolding behind the scenes. Michael begins by revealing that your life has been under divine observation. Every struggle you overcame, every sacrifice you made, every moment you chose faith over fear has been counted. Heaven has been watching your endurance, your resilience, your purity of heart, even when life was unkind. The weight of your calling is not because of your perfection. It is because of your perseverance. Few people understand how much you have carried silently. But heaven does. And heaven is now responding. Michael shows an image of a spiritual doorway that has been locked for a long time. This doorway represents breakthrough, advancement, clarity, and elevation. For years, you have pressed against it, knocked on it, cried near it, prayed before it. But the timing was not ready. Not because you were unworthy, but because what was behind the door needed preparation. The people connected to it needed alignment. The circumstances needed rearrangement. The environment needed shifting. The timing needed maturity. And now, Michael says the lock has been removed. The hinges are loosening. The door is preparing to open. This is why your spirit has been sensing the change before your physical world shows it. Spiritual doors open before physical doors do. Your inner world reacts before your outer world shifts. This is why you have felt different lately. Sharper, older, more aware. Heaven has begun activating you for the moment when the door swings open. But Michael reveals something deeper. This opportunity is not only a blessing, it is a calling into spiritual authority. You are being elevated into a level of influence you may not yet fully understand. Your voice will carry weight. Your decisions will carry impact. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Heaven does not elevate casually. Heaven elevates intentionally. You are being positioned to carry divine influence, whether in your home, your community, your relationships, your work, or your spiritual assignment. This is why your preparation has been so intense. Michael says that before the door opens, Heaven wants you to understand the three forces that have been working behind you, around you, and within you. The first force is divine protection. You survived seasons that were not survivable without spiritual intervention. You walked away from places, people, and situations that could have destroyed your purpose. Heaven stepped in even when you did not realize you were in danger. The second force is divine alignment. Heaven rearranged connections and circumstances to prepare the path ahead. Some people were removed because their presence would have corrupted your calling. Some opportunities were delayed because they would have distracted you. Some desires were denied because they were too small for who you are meant to become. And the third force is divine timing. Heaven slowed you down when you wanted to run, and heaven pushed you forward when you wanted to hide. Every shift has been strategic. Now, Michael reveals the heart of this moment. Your life is entering a supernatural acceleration. This acceleration is not random. It is heaven's response to your endurance. Heaven accelerates those who do not quit. Heaven elevates those who remain faithful in private. Heaven promotes those who pass spiritual tests silently and faithfully. You are one of them. This is why God said He has chosen you. The acceleration will show itself in several ways. Conversations that were stagnant will suddenly move. Obstacles that seemed immovable will begin to dissolve. Delays that frustrated you will turn into opportunities. Doors that were closed will open without resistance. Even people who previously ignored your presence may suddenly recognize your value. Heaven is orchestrating these movements. But with acceleration also comes spiritual responsibility. Michael says you cannot step into this opportunity casually. Your posture, your awareness, your discernment, and your spiritual sensitivity must remain sharp. You cannot let distractions pull you off your path. You cannot allow fear to make you hesitate. You cannot allow memories of your past to convince you that you are unworthy of your future. You must walk with clarity, with authority, with courage. Michael is now revealing that the shift coming into your life is not small. It will require strength. It will require trust. It will require obedience. But heaven has not brought you this far to leave you unprepared. Every trial was training. Every battle was strengthening. Every setback was shaping. You have been refined for this. You have been conditioned for this. You have been chosen for this. And now heaven wants you to understand that when the opportunity arrives, you will instantly know it is for you. Something inside you will whisper, "This is it." Your spirit will recognize it before your mind understands it. Peace will surround it, confirmation will accompany it, and acceleration will follow it. As this part of the message comes to a close, Michael says the next revelation will uncover the hidden opposition that tried to delay your destiny and why it ultimately failed. You will understand why the enemy fought you so hard and why heaven is elevating you now. Before you move forward, anchor this moment with the blessing ritual. Type "I am positioned for heaven's acceleration" in the comments. Blessing code 1444 is now released over your life. Hold steady, the next unveiling will expose what tried to stop you and why it couldn't. Be loved soul walking courageously through heaven's unfolding as you enter this next revelation. Breathe deeply and allow the atmosphere around you to shift. You may feel a heaviness lifting or a warmth settling over your spirit. That is Archangel Michael drawing near, preparing to unveil something that has remained hidden for far too long. What he is about to reveal is not simply information. It is insight, understanding, and spiritual clarity that will explain why your path has been so challenging, why certain battles refuse to end, and why the resistance around your life felt unusually intense. This is where the unseen becomes visible. This is where the unanswered questions begin to form a picture. This is where the mystery around your warfare starts to make sense. Michael begins by showing me a scene of your spirit standing between two forces, light on one side and resistance on the other. This resistance was not random. It was intentional. It was targeted. It was designed to delay you, distract you, and discourage you. The enemy knew something about your calling long before you did. The enemy recognized the potential in your voice, your presence, your anointing, your destiny before you even understood your own strength. And that recognition triggered warfare. You have always been spiritually sensitive, even in seasons where you felt disconnected from God. You could feel when something was off. You could sense when someone was pretending. You could detect danger even without physical evidence. This sensitivity marked you in the spiritual realm. Heaven saw it as a gift, but darkness saw it as a threat. And threats are always targeted. Michael reveals that the battles you faced were not battles the average person experiences. Your warfare was deeper. Your storms were longer. Your heartbreaks cut deeper. Your disappointments felt heavier. The enemy was not trying to destroy your peace. He was trying to destroy your purpose. He was trying to stop you before you awakened. He was trying to silence you before your voice could carry weight. He was trying to exhaust you before heaven positioned you. But he failed. He failed because heaven protected you in moments you didn't even realize danger was near. He failed because your soul refused to surrender, even in moments when your body felt tired. He failed because Michael stood over you when the pressure around your life intensified. He failed because God strengthened you quietly in the background, even when you felt spiritually numb. Michael now shows an image of chains that once wrapped around your progress, your relationships, your clarity, your confidence. These chains represented spiritual interference, forces attempting to delay what heaven was trying to release. But the chains are broken now. Every link shattered. Not because you fought with your own strength, but because heaven intervened. Heaven does not allow the enemy to interfere with a chosen life forever. There comes a moment, like this one, where the spiritual tide turns. And now the tide has turned for you. Heaven is lifting you out of opposition and into opportunity. What once resisted you will now release you. What once intimidated you will now bow before you. What once delayed you will now accelerate you. You are no longer standing on the edges of breakthrough. Your foot is stepping onto the ground of it. Michael continues revealing something even deeper. The enemy did not fight you, because of who you were in your past. He fought you because of who you are becoming. He saw glimpses of the future heaven designed for you. Your influence, your impact, your anointing, your purpose. He saw the future version of you rising in spiritual authority, and he panicked. That panic fueled the attacks you endured. But every attack only strengthened your spirit. Every setback sharpened your discernment. Every betrayal made you wiser. Every delay built your patience. Every heartbreak purified your soul. Heaven used everything the enemy tried to destroy you with as material for your elevation. And now Michael says this with authority. The opposition that once surrounded you has lost its grip. You are stepping into a season of uncontested movement. No more invisible resistance. No more spiritual blockages. No more silent battles that drain your soul. No more cycles repeating themselves. The atmosphere around your life is clearing. He reveals that heaven has placed a spiritual shield around you, one that the enemy cannot cross. A hedge, a divine barrier, a wall of protection strengthened by obedience, prayer, and the hand of God himself. This shield will guard your opportunities, your relationships, your decisions, and your path. But there is more. The opposition you faced was not only meant to stop you, it was meant to reveal you. The battles exposed your real strength. The rejections exposed who was never meant to walk with you. The delays exposed what was beneath you. The pain exposed what needed healing. The struggle exposed how much heaven was preparing you for responsibility, not suffering. Michael says that you passed tests you didn't even know you were taking. You won battles you didn't realize were being fought on your behalf. You overcame forces that thought you would break. But instead of breaking, you grew. Instead of retreating, you rose. Instead of surrendering, you became stronger. This is why the opportunity must come now. Heaven does not place promotion in the hands of the unprepared. Heaven delivers destiny to those who have endured. You are one of them. You survived the resistance, and now you are entering the release. As this revelation settles over your spirit, the next unfolding will reveal what this opportunity will begin unlocking in your life. What is coming will not only elevate you, it will multiply you. Before you continue, anchor this moment. Type "I break through all opposition" in the comments. Blessing Code 2024 is now released into your atmosphere. Hold steady, for the next revelation will show what heaven is about to unlock through you. Beloved soul, rising into the fullness of your divine identity as you step into this next revelation, notice how your spirit has shifted since the beginning of this journey. You are no longer simply listening. You are absorbing. You are no longer observing. You are awakening. The atmosphere around you has changed, and so have you. Archangel Michael stands behind you now, not as a guard blocking danger, but as a wind of strength pushing you forward into what heaven has prepared. His presence feels different, stronger, brighter, more purposeful, because what is about to be revealed is not about your past battles or your previous delays, but about what heaven is about to unlock through you and for you. This message has been building, layer by layer, preparing your spirit, cleansing your path, sharpening your awareness. And now, heaven says it is time. Time to understand what this divine opportunity truly represents. Time to understand why God said, "If you're reading this, it means I have chosen you." But this opportunity will not wait. Time to understand what will happen after the breakthrough, not just before it. This is the moment where destiny begins to take shape in your spirit. Michael begins by revealing that the opportunity coming toward you is a multi-layered unlocking, not a single blessing. Heaven is not sending you a moment. It is sending you momentum. a wave of change that will touch multiple areas of your life simultaneously. You have been prepared for more than one shift, more than one blessing, more than one breakthrough. Heaven is releasing a chain reaction. The first unlocking is internal. Heaven is releasing clarity you have been craving for years. You will no longer move through life unsure of what you're meant to do or where you're meant to go. A divine sense of purpose will begin anchoring itself inside you. Decisions that once felt confusing will feel obvious. Thoughts that once felt scattered will align. Your mind will feel lighter, clearer, more focused. You will begin to operate like someone who knows they are called, not someone who wonders if they are. The second unlocking is relational. Heaven is preparing to send the right people into your life, people who match your growth, support your purpose, respect your boundaries, and honor your spirit. These individuals will not drain you, manipulate you, or confuse you. They will bring alignment, encouragement, clarity, and stability. Michael says some of these connections are divine appointments, souls who were always meant to cross your path, but the timing had to be right. The right season creates the right connections, and you are entering that season now. The third unlocking is directional. Heaven is positioning your steps. Paths that once felt blocked will open. Projects that once felt overwhelming will flow. Ideas that once seemed impossible will suddenly feel within reach. You will feel drawn toward certain choices, places, and opportunities. This pull is not random. This is heaven guiding you into your next chapter with precision. Your steps are no longer uncertain. They are guided. The fourth unlocking is emotional. Heaven is releasing healing into places you forgot were wounded. Old pain will lose its grip. Memories that once controlled your emotions will no longer hold power over you. Your heart will feel lighter. You will find yourself reacting differently, forgiving quicker, releasing easier, loving deeper. Michael says emotional healing is not just a comfort, it is a preparation. You cannot carry the weight of your future with the wounds of your past. The fifth unlocking is spiritual authority. Heaven is elevating your discernment, sharpening your perception, and strengthening your intuition. You will begin sensing things before they happen, seeing truth behind the surface, recognizing spiritual movements instantly. You will no longer doubt your sensitivity. You will embrace it as the gift heaven intended it to be. This spiritual authority will protect you, guide you, and position you. The sixth unlocking is financial. Heaven is bringing provision where there has been lack, opportunity where there has been limitation, and increase where there has been delay. Do not fear when you feel unfamiliar opportunities rising around you. Heaven is aligning resources with your assignment. What you need will come. What you lost will be restored. What was withheld will be released. And then comes the most powerful unlocking, the seventh one, purpose expansion. You are being called into a greater version of your life. Heaven is not only blessing you, it is expanding you. Your influence will increase. Your impact will grow. Your voice will reach hearts you never imagined. Your presence will shift atmospheres. You will step into rooms you once thought were out of reach. Heaven is positioning you to be a light in places that have been spiritually dark. Michael says this clearly. The chosen are elevated not for attention, but for assignment. You are not being lifted for pride. You are being lifted for purpose. You are being positioned because someone needs the light you carry. Someone needs the wisdom you gain through your trials. Someone needs the strength you developed in your battles. Someone needs the healing that flows from your spirit. You are a vessel heaven intends to use. This is why the opportunity cannot wait. Heaven's timing is tied to your purpose, not your comfort. When destiny calls, the chosen respond. Heaven is not simply giving you a blessing, it is entrusting you with a mantle. Michael now reveals that the unfolding of this opportunity will happen in phases. You will not receive everything at once, but you will receive everything in alignment. And the alignment begins with your readiness. Heaven does not rush. Heaven prepares. And every message you've received so far has been shaping your inner world for the moment that is approaching. As this revelation anchors in your soul, prepare your heart. The next and final unveiling will bring together everything heaven has spoken. Your calling, your blessing, your future, and the instructions that will determine how you step into the life God is opening. Before moving forward, seal this moment. Type "I receive every unlocking" in the comments. Blessing code 3555 is now released over your spirit. Stay close, for the final revelation will complete the divine message heaven has prepared for you. Beloved soul, standing at the threshold of divine completion as you enter this final revelation, feel the weight of every word that has led you here. Your spirit has been journeying through layers of understanding, healing, alignment, and awakening. And now, heaven brings you to the closing of this message, not as an ending, but as a beginning. Archangel Michael stands before you with a presence more radiant than in any previous part of this journey. His wings feel wider. His stance feels stronger. His energy feels more commanding. This is the moment heaven has been preparing your spirit for. Everything that has been spoken until now has been leading you to this final unfolding. There is no coincidence that you made it here. Not everyone does. Many scroll away before spiritual completion. Many disconnect before revelation arrives. But your spirit remained. Your heart leaned in. Your soul recognized that something sacred was unfolding. Your presence here is the proof that heaven truly has chosen you for something extraordinary. This is where God's words echo again with deeper resonance. If you're reading this, it means I have chosen you. But this opportunity will not wait. Now, as Michael reveals the final unveiling, those words take on a weight, so divine it settles into your bones like truth you had forgotten you knew. Michael begins by showing a vision of your spirit standing on an elevated platform. Behind you are the battles you survived, the tears you shed, the storms you endured, the nights you questioned your worth, the days you felt unseen. Every moment of pain stands behind you not as defeat, but as evidence of your resilience. In front of you, the horizon is glowing, gold, wide, open. This horizon represents what heaven is now releasing into your life. Heaven says the opportunity coming to you is not just about your circumstances. It is about your identity. It is about who you were always meant to become. You are stepping into a season where the version of you that heaven created, confident, focused, spiritually awake, emotionally healed, divinely aligned, will finally rise to the surface. This is your emergence. The divine opportunity ahead of you carries three powerful elements: transformational change, divine positioning, and spiritual assignment. The transformational change will begin within you. You will feel courage rising, clarity sharpening, and purpose grounding you. Decisions you avoided will become easier. Directions that once felt overwhelming will feel natural. You will feel lifted, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. This inner shift is the foundation of everything heaven is about to do. The divine positioning will take place in your relationships, your environment, your opportunities, and the circles you enter. Heaven is moving you into places where your gifts are needed, your voice is respected, and your presence is valued. You will be placed where you are seen, positioned where you are recognized, set in places where your spirit can flourish. What was once hidden will now be highlighted. What was once blocked will now open. What was once delayed will now accelerate. But the greatest part of this opportunity is your spiritual assignment. Heaven is calling you into a deeper purpose, not to impress people, but to impact them. You carry something that the world needs. You carry light where others carry confusion. You carry healing where others carry brokenness. You carry strength where others carry fear. You carry God's love where others carry emptiness. You are not entering a season of blessings alone. You are entering a season of usefulness. Heaven is entrusting you with influence that comes from spiritual depth, not from earthly achievements. And now, Michael speaks with authority. This opportunity cannot wait because heaven has aligned too much, too precisely, too intentionally for you to hesitate. The timing is divine. The alignment is perfect. A moment is now. Any delay would shift the energy of this blessing. Any hesitation would distort the flow. Any fear would create spiritual distance. This is why heaven has prepared your spirit throughout every part of this message, to ensure that when the moment comes, you walk boldly into it without questioning whether you deserve it. You do, because God chose you. Not the loudest, not the strongest, not the most qualified, but the most loyal, the most resilient, the one whose heart remained open even through seasons of pain. Michael now reveals the final truth. The opportunity coming to you is a doorway into a life you thought you would only dream of. A life that carries peace, direction, purpose, and divine alignment. A life where you finally feel like you are living, not surviving. A life where you step into the fullness of who you were created to be. Heaven is not simply offering you a blessing. Heaven is offering you a destiny shift. And now, as you receive this final revelation, let the word settle deeply. You are chosen. You are protected. You are guided. You are prepared. You are ready. Before we close this divine journey, anchor your spirit with the blessing ritual. Type "I step into my God-given destiny" in the comments if this message has awakened something powerful within you. Blessing code 9999 is now released over your path, sealing your alignment with heaven's timing. And now, beloved soul, take a moment to like this message, share it with others who need clarity and awakening. Comment your affirmation and subscribe so these divine revelations continue reaching you. Your engagement helps this prophetic light spread to thousands who need hope, healing, and guidance. As you stand in the fullness of this final revelation, hear this with your spirit. When you support this prophetic mission, you join heaven in awakening souls who feel forgotten. You become a carrier of light, a partner in God's movement, a vessel through which hope flows into the lives of many. I feel the Spirit declaring, "Those who sow into my work will walk under my open heavens." Your giving becomes a divine act, an offering that multiplies blessings in your own life as heaven continues touching lives through this message. If God is urging your heart, respond boldly through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. Blessing, acceleration, and supernatural favor are released upon every giver. Step into this moment. Your obedience becomes someone else's breakthrough.